Have you ever stood in the shower, looked down at your hands, and thought, this can't be normal? The truth is that your shedding pattern, how much hair you're losing, where it's falling from, and even the way these strands look actually tells a lot about what's happening to your scalp. And today I'm going to break it down for you in a way that's simple, clear, and hopefully gives you some answers that you've been looking for. So if you don't know me, my name is Melissa Ferguson. I'm a hairstylist and a hair restoration specialist, and I've spent almost 15 years helping women navigate thinning hair, extensions, scalp health. And here's the thing. Hair loss isn't always about genetics. Often your shedding pattern is the very first clue about whether you're dealing with stress, hormones, nutrition, or even scalp blockages. So we're going to dig in. So what is normal shedding? First things first, shedding is normal. On average, most people lose between 50 to 100 hairs a day. But keep in mind, the average head has about 100,000 follicles on it. So the key is recognizing that when the shedding starts to change either in volume or pattern, and if you're noticing clumps coming out or handfuls, if you're consistently pulling off your clothing and your pillow, that's when we do need to start paying closer attention, because it's not just the amount, it's about where you're shedding from that actually matters the most. So we're going to start with diffuse shedding. This is when hair is coming out evenly all over the scalp instead of one concentrated area. This type of shedding also often points to internal triggers, so things like stress, nutrition, medication side effects, things like postpartum changes. And what it's telling us is that your follicles are still alive, something is happening, they're being pushed into a resting phase. With the right treatment, diffuse shedding is often reversible, but if ignored, it can shift into longer term thinning, which is causing massive problems. Now, patchy shedding, when hair loss is concentrated in specific spots like the crown or the temples, this can signal something more mechanical. So like traction alopecia from really tight ponytails or extensions. It can also point to autoimmune conditions like alopecia areata. And when shedding is patchy, I usually recommend doing a diagnostic on that baby over there, because the faster we can identify the trigger, the better chance we have at protecting the surrounding follicles. So next we're thinning at the part and the hairline. So one of the most common things I see in women is thinning along the parts of the hairline. If the ponytail feels skinnier, or if you're seeing more scalp when you pull back right here, this could be a sign of follicle miniaturization. Miniaturization is basically when the follicle is shrinking over time, it's producing finer and finer hairs, and then eventually it is going to stop together. This pattern is often genetic, but it can also be triggered by hormonal shifts. The good news is, with the right technology like our red light therapy, right here, the Balance Lumiere, we can slow down or even reverse these processes. Shedding with breakage. Another important detail is you want to look at the strand themselves. Are you shedding long, full hairs with little white bulb at the end? That's a natural shed. But if you're noticing shorter hair snapping mid-shaft, that's breakage, and that is not shedding. Breakage tells us that your hair fiber is usually compromised, so this can be from over bleaching, heat, damage, rough handling. In that case, scalp treatments won't fix it. You'll actually need a restoration plan that strengthens the cuticle, because it's not hair loss, it's breakage. This is going to reduce stress on the fiber. So why this diagnostic guide matters, okay? We do a lot of these here in the studio because patterns only give us clues. The way to get a full look is to actually see the follicles at a microscopic level. With microscopic imaging, I can see things like buildup, inflammation, or miniaturization that I would never catch with the naked eye. Sometimes I'll even actually take this and I will pair it with AI software that helps to predict future hair loss patterns, so we can actually get a proactive plan instead of reactive. So here's a big takeaway. Your scalp pattern is like your scalp's language. It's telling you a story about what's happening beneath the surface, and the problem is that most of us don't know how to translate it, okay? And this is where I come in. So if you've been noticing changes in your scalp, your part, or your hairline, I don't want you to wait until it gets worse. I want you to book a consultation with me. We'll do a full scalp diagnostic. We'll go through your history. We'll put together a plan that's designed for your hair. I may even have you connect with a naturopath or a nutritionist to go through your lifestyle and your goals. So to get started, click the link in the description or drop me a message. This is your chance to finally understand what it is that your hair is trying to tell you, and just know that you are not alone in this.